that's how I worked, and I maintained a separation between this is my job and what I do, and I enjoyed what I did. I spent a lot of time helping people become homeowners.
Oh, good, amen.
Helping people get the financial they need to grow and expand their businesses and different things over the years. But that was their company.
Yes.
Right. Whenever that comes to an end, that's when the paycheck stops.
Exactly.
So we have to develop our own revenue streams so that we're not slaves to the job.
I think in a way what we're talking about is really the lifestyle you want.
Right.
You can be proactive or reactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Traditionally, among people of color in the diaspora, we have been taught to be reactive.
Right.
Yes.
And
yes,
that's one of the things I want to always keep coming back to, because the enslaver or the colonialist wanted us to have a level of separation among us, so we would not recognize that the strategy, that the systems were the same, in order to cause us to begin to live in a dehumanized way. So there were some things that were, if we understand the historical context, that we can understand where we are and understand where we're going.
Yes.
Historically, there was something that enslavers used to call seasoned. They were seasoning the slave. When they first took them off of the ship, they were seasoned. And how were they seasoned? To begin to believe that the oppressor was everything. And that they were the same as an animal. So they were being taught that their job and life was about bowing. Now, what began to happen is that these two lives now begin to exist. The one that you have with the enslaver when you are bowing, and the one that you now have when you are among your own people. We're having or appearing to have now becomes the status symbol. Why? Because in seasoning, one of the things that the enslaver taught was that you become more human the more you can look and act and talk like me.
Wow.
So from the psychological perspective, generationally, we've been taught that we must look and act like the oppressor. So I'm somebody who, I love Friary, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, where he talks about the fact that as oppressed people, through generations, we live the generational trauma of having to look and act like someone else. So how does it translate now to our lifestyle? It translates to the lifestyle of the fact that the enslaver also knew that if he taught us to value things, we would fill our world with things, and we wouldn't fill our world with things that were of value. We would fill our world with things that easily went, so we would have to continue to be the workforce. We would have to continue, even after enslavement was over, we would be enslaved mentally for generations. By the way, that's in writing. Willie Lynch letters. When Willie Lynch was teaching other enslavers and colonialists how to keep people enslaved, he said, keep them enslaved mentally and you will have enslaved them for generations.
And now you're griping, we're trying to break generational cycles of cultural betrayal because now everybody's fighting against each other, trying to figure out who's the leader, who's the leader in charge. And I want to be the leader. I want everybody to bow to me. I want to be the head person. Instead of us coming together. And what real church was, when we just talked about this in the car, when we talked about home, when we talked about the real church, I was saying that church moved away from being a home where like everybody came together and everybody came to help one another.
First there was no GoFundMe if somebody didn't have insurance.
No, it was like everybody worked together for a significant common goal to make sure that everyone was all right. It wasn't about me being all right or you being all right. It was an us thing. It was a we thing. It was all about the community, where the community was anything that happened. If you was at work and you had a child, and I was in the front, I can come and say, I can come and correct your child and say, and when you got home, say, hey, John did X, Y, and Z, and it was a village,
right?
It was a community, and that's what the church was. The church was the village. The church was us all working together to look out for one another, to make sure that everyone ate, everyone was safe.
Yes,
you know, and everyone had this sense of looking out for each other and a sense of fulfillment because we knew one another. We spread love. And if you didn't have something, the church, we figured out a way to make sure you got what you need. And now it's an all for self thing. It's a I'm better than you. Bow to me because I have all these things. I have all these things. Right. I don't own anything, but I have this.
But
I look good.
Yes.
I look good. I don't feel good, but I look good.
Yes.
I look good enough that you can be jealous or you can be envious of what I have.
Yeah.
I feel that they definitely work hand in hand.
Yes.
If you're not well in one area, it's like having one cancerous cell in your body. You want to eradicate that.
Yes.
So that the body can be healed and can be well. So whatever space you're in, whether your path is entrepreneurship, whether it's ministry, whether it's real estate, and on that real estate piece, I'm going to say this from a side note.
Yeah.
People, stop selling everything you get your hands on. Okay. If grandma left you something down in Mississippi, if it's a postage stamp, keep it.
Yes.
Stop selling and giving everything. Learn to lease land if people want to develop it. Right. You can lease it from me. That is a continual stream of money.
Absolutely.